Hey everybody, this is Blake here. We are going to be doing another review memoirs video where I talk about my reviews, give sort of a commentary, some, inside information, maybe clarify what I feel, etc., etc., etc. We're going to go all the way back to the very first episode of season 2, my review of Big Smile Reviews. It's kind of hard to say that without sounding redundant. Now, unlike most reviewers I cover, Big Smile Reviews, he was not a request. In fact, at that point, I didn't have as many people on the list, even though I still picked it randomly. But since everybody was asking me to do movie reviewers, I figured I'd put in a few spots as just game reviewer. Then I'd type in game review in YouTube or whatever, and pretty much the first one that caught my eye, I'd go ahead and cover. And that's pretty much what happened. I typed in, just like game review or game reviews or something, and he came up. And so since he had quite a few subscribers, I think it was like 9,000 at that time, I figured, okay, he'd make a good opening act, that he'd be my first episode, and I'd go from there. So I watched all of his videos, which took forever. One thing that is funny, I guess I kind of got to go back a little bit, is that whereas at that point everybody wanted me to review movie reviewers, now it's the complete opposite. Everybody wants me to review game reviewers. So, but I don't do that, generic movie reviewer or game reviewer anymore because I got so many requests. I just do almost exclusively those. But moving back to where I was. It's very hard to watch all of somebody's videos, especially when you're doing it, as more of a chore than a hobby. Like, I don't know if that really came out right, but I probably wouldn't watch him so much if I wasn't doing Critiquing the Critics, just because I'm not that much of a gamer. But so by the time I actually started reviewing him, I was getting kind of sick of him. But at the same time, I still did enjoy his videos, and I really do respect them. One thing that really made him special isn't just that he's really passionate or enthusiastic. It's that when I watch one of his videos, I don't think of anybody else. So, like, when I watch a reviewer who I might like, they'll usually, either the nostalgia critic or the angry video game nerd or Spoonie will come to mind first, because it's obvious that they're, so much inspired by these people, like, Film Brain. It's hard to watch a Film Brain episode without thinking of the nostalgia critic or, maybe Spoonie or the cinema snob. But with Big Smile Reviews, it's just all him. It's just the way he delivers his reviews, and his enthusiasm, his charisma, his personality. I could really see somebody hating the crap out of his works just because he is pretty loud, and you might find him really annoying. But to me, it's really cool that he has such an identity within game reviewing in general, just because there's so many game reviewers. And it's not just the fact that he does positive reviews either. So I really do admire that. See, like, if you compared him to me, for example, there's like 8 reviewers. There's not a whole lot of us to compare, but I really don't feel that I stand out as much as he does. And the fact that, there's like probably 8 million game reviewers out there, that's really impressive. So I started putting the video together, and at the time I thought it was okay, even though it wasn't very easy to make. I kept blowing my lines. At that point, it was a lot more difficult to do the video scenes because I'd have to record them on a camera, then bring them to the computer. So I didn't really do any retakes after I saw them. I mean, if I thought it sounded good while I was filming them, that's usually what I used. My enunciations were horrible. That's actually one of his weaknesses, is he doesn't enunciate very well. But whereas at least it's just because he's so enthusiastic and he moves really quickly. With me, I just come across as really lazy and bland, and I hated that. The audio was so out of focus. I don't even know what the hell went on, but this was a major issue with season 2, is that when I'm talking, what I'm saying doesn't necessarily match my mouth movements. So that was odd. It's embarrassing to watch. And what's sad is that in general, I thought the script was okay. In fact, in terms of at that time anyway, I thought the script was actually pretty good. If I were to go back and change anything about it, it's I'm pretty redundant myself, which is odd considering I criticize him for it. Like, for example, one part that really stood out to me was I say, in fact, I love the fact that then I go on. So I said fact twice in the same sentence. big no-no. That's what I was talking about in that last guidelines episode. So I was pretty ashamed of that. But otherwise, the script itself was fine. I look at it right now. I thought I did a good job in terms of critiquing him. In fact, when I was watching, because I watched a few of his videos before I just did this, just so I can catch up to see if he's changed or not. He hasn't, although he's really slowed down with his output. But I didn't really think about it. But he doesn't talk about the story a whole lot compared to other reviewers. He just says if it's good or bad. But so the fact that I brought that up at all, I guess, is a testament to even back then I was trying to be a little bit analytical. And I thought the jokes were actually pretty funny on paper, and I'll talk about this in my next guidelines episode. I just didn't have the right delivery. If I did them now, I probably could do them a lot better. But just the way it's edited or the way that I just deliver the lines, I think I ruined some potentially really good jokes. Now, of course, he's sort of become a running gag for me, and that I'll bring up how terrified I am of him. Obviously, he seems like a really nice guy, and if you watch his videos, you don't get that at all. That's the joke, is I'm pretending like he's this horrifying reviewer, but he's really nice, and there's nothing like that whatsoever in his reviews. But I occasionally use that, and I kind of want to continue with that, because some of the reviews I even just watched, or his newer ones, had some things that can easily be taken as weird or creepy under the wrong context. So thanks, Big Smile Reviews. You're giving me some comedic gold to work with. But otherwise, like I said, this review I didn't think was very good. It just hasn't aged well. My delivery needed a lot of work. This was the first time I did an opening theme song, though, where I used the theme from Porno Holocaust, which is weird because I actually had seen that years ago, but for some reason when I watched it, it was on the computer, but they didn't call it Porno Holocaust. In fact, I want to say they called it Zombie Holocaust, which really made it confusing later on when I actually saw the real Zombie Holocaust. But and what I saw, I'm pretty sure, was edited down quite a bit too, because it wasn't very long. It seems like there was not a whole lot of nudity, but I was so bored out of my mind. And at the time, I really didn't like that theme song either. Honestly, I didn't really give it another chance until the Cinema Snob reviewed it. And even though I haven't seen the movie since my initial viewing, and I don't really want to, it seemed like when he played that theme song in the background, it was just much more appealing. So I decided that would make a perfect opening. It's just kind of weird and eccentric, which is what I want to go for with my opening theme songs. And I actually thought I did a surprisingly good job in terms of putting the opening together. The only thing I really regret is the lack of a title card. That was pretty lazy. And then the text when I put over like introducing Space Godzilla or Anguirus seems kind of odd and cheap. But otherwise, I thought the opening was really cool. And I was really proud of that. There was one thing too that I had totally forgotten about. I have such a terrible memory. It's the video standout segment. Whatever happened to that? I did that just to point out some videos that I thought stood out as exceptional, but I honestly don't know if I've ever done that since then. I completely forgot about it. Maybe I should bring it back in some way, shape, or form, but otherwise, we'll just have to see. So, Big Smile Reviews, I thought was a pretty fun reviewer. I had some fun in reviewing him, but unfortunately I just wasn't a very good reviewer back then myself, or at least I wasn't a very good technician or comedian at that point. Like I said, the reviewing itself was fine. But so that's really all I have to say. If you want to read my original script, I have it in the link in my description, which is on my page on my website. But at the same time, I use a totally different word processor now, so came back sort of butchered, and I had to reorganize some points because for some reason everything was out of order. I actually haven't done that yet, so hopefully I'm not biting off more I could chew, and it's going to be a lot more work than I'm expecting. But if you're interested in checking that out, there are a few differences. Go ahead and read that. Just expect a very butchered version of what it probably once was. So that's all I really have to say. Check out his website, his YouTube page, his Twitter account. I just started following him. And check out my website. And, well, you obviously are checking out my YouTube page if you're watching this. And follow me on Twitter, etc., etc. There will probably be another review memoirs episode out this week. If I can't get done with my next guidelines episode, we'll just have to see. That's all I have to say. I'll see you guys later.